Hello everyone, I'm Pokemon Surfer and today I'm gonna attempt a hardcore Nuzlocke in Pokemon X with only fire types. Wait a minute, aren't fire types a bit OP? Maybe, but Mega Charizard in Pokemon X is just too cool. I had to try out a Nuzlocke where this black and blue fire spitting Pokemon was the leading star. Pokemon X has these fire type Pokemon in the game. Out of these, Moltres and Volcanion are unobtainable, so they are out. To make things more fun, I'll be chucking out the one Pokemon per area rule for this run. This means I can catch any Pokemon in any area as long as it's a fire type. This also means that we can play this Nuzlocke with all these Pokemon. What great options! Let's have a look at the rules. I can only catch fire type Pokemon throughout the run. No items, no leveling past the gym leader's ace. I need to play the game on set mode. For detailed rules, check out the description below this video. Let's dive in! I named myself Zuko, the Fire Nation's prince. The game began with a very annoying tackle from Fletchling. Ouch! That hurt! For some weird reason, mom wanted me to look in the mirror and... Whoa, Zuko! That's so cool! Are you a student at Hogwarts? My video game friends were nice enough to let me pick my own nickname. My real friends just gave me a nickname without my permission. And they were terrible. Oh. Since I'm a firebender, I named myself Hot Guy. I chose the fire type starter Fennekin. He models for Mozilla Firefox, so I named him Moz. On Route 2, I caught a Fletchling. I named her Phoenix. Phoenix is currently a normal and flying type, but once she evolves, she becomes a fire type, and I can use her in gym battles. After searching for an eternity, I found a Pansear in Santaloon Forest. He reminded me of Cheetos, so I named him Flaming Hot. On Route 22, I caught a Litleo and named her Simba. After leveling up, I challenged the Bug-type gym leader Viola. Though bug types are weak to fire types, this wasn't an easy battle. Viola's lead Pokemon Surskit is a water type Pokemon, and she uses the move Water Sport that reduces the damage from fire type moves by 67%. For the first two turns, I used Work Up and increased my attack and special attack. Then, I attacked with a boosted headbutt and knocked out Surskit in one shot. Since Water Spout was still in play, I attacked Vivillon with headbutt. She survived the first one but fainted on the second one, and I won my first gym badge. In Lumiere City, I got my second starter, Charmander. I named him Azula, cause he was soon gonna breathe out some cool blue fire like her. On Route 5, I got ambushed by a scary wolf who couldn't stop growling at me. Yikes. But turns out, he actually likes me. Aww. I'm doing a fire type run, so maybe next time, buddy. After taking way too long to catch the leader of the Poodle Bandit gang, I obtained the Pokeflute. I played it horribly until Snorlax woke up in rage. Sorry dude, but it's a lot better than waking up to a tackling Fletchling. After battling some Pokemon trainers en route, Moz evolved into Braixen. Phoenix evolved into the fire type Fletchinder. On Route 10, I caught an Eevee and named him Fireflare. I also encountered a Houndour and named her Wolverine. He soon evolved into Houndoom. I used the Firestone and evolved Flaming Hot to Simisear. Then I challenged the Rock-type gym. This was the most difficult gym battle of all. Emora is notorious for paralyzing his opponents with Thunder Wave. Tyrant is 4 times resistant to Fire-type moves. But thankfully, I had a plan. And that plan involved everybody's least favorite HM move, Rock Smash. I began with Yawn. But Emora used her Thunder Wave and paralyzed me. Oh no. Emora attacked me with Takedown and I retaliated with Rock Smash, a 4 times super effective fighting type move. Cliff tried to stall by using a Hyper Potion. I stayed paralyzed for 1 turn, but eventually I got Emora with a Rock Smash. Tyrant attacked me with Stomp. Flaming Hot survived it and managed to use Yawn in spite of being paralyzed. I used Protect to stall, but Flaming Hot stayed paralyzed. Tyrant used Rock Tomb and That was the end of Flaming Hot's hotness. Your journey was short, but your splendor was greater than Ash's battle record. Rest well, my brave pal. Tyrant the monster finally went to sleep. Azula attacked with a couple of dragon rages and knocked him out. Cliff badge in the bag. I used the Firestone to evolve Fire Flare into Flareon. Then I battled Sabrina for the Mega Evolution Ring. We both had the same thing in mind. Light Screen. Meowstic kept attacking me with the crappy fairy type move Disarming Voice. It did absolutely nothing. I easily used Howl and got my attack to a +4. After using Light Screen once again, I attacked with a couple of returns and knocked out Meowstic. Frogadier outsped me and attacked with Water Pulse. Oh no, please don't crit, please don't crit, please don't crit. It didn't hit a crit. Phew. Mars lives another day. I attacked with returns and OHKO'd Frogadier and Absol. Serena lost, and I won the Mega Evolution Ring. Yay! The rest of the rival battles were pretty easy. Serena's team stays the same in most of the battles, so I will be skipping all of them. I challenged the fighting type gym leader, Korrina. This was a tricky battle. All of Korrina's Pokemon use Fire Up Punch that increases attack by 1 stage. So to counter that, I used Charm, a fairy type move that decreases an opponent's attack by 2 stages. After applying some extremely complicated kindergarten level mathematics, I managed to bring down Mianfu's attack to a -6. Then I switched to Phoenix and used Sword Stance. Mianfu's attacks were hitting me like a soft breeze of wind and barely dealing damage. 3 sword dances later, I attacked with Aerial Ace and knocked the wind out of Mianfu and Machoke. Hawlucha outsped me and attacked with a Flying Press, but it wasn't that effective. One more Aerial Ace took care of Hawlucha, and I won the Rumble Patch. Oh hey look! It's the same Lucario we met on Route 5. And he still hasn't given up on me. Aww, how can I say no to those angelic eyes? Wanna be my HM slave? I challenged the Tarzan grandpa, Ramos. Not gonna lie, I actually underestimated his team and went into the battle without a plan. And that was actually the right thing to do. Phoenix massacred Ramos' entire team with acrobatics, and I won the Plant Patch. After the battle, Phoenix evolved into Talonflame. You're selling a $200 water for $300? Nah, I'll pass. I'll just drink some water while surfing on my Lapras. #blessed. #frugal for life. After defeating the Devil Wears Prada villain gang, Mars evolved into a medieval widow, Delphox. I went back to Route 13 to catch a Slugma, but none of Slugma's scenes made it to the final video, so he will be joining the other nameless extras in this run. On route to Lumia City, Azula evolved into Charizard. Simba evolved into Pyroar. Oh look, I just ran into Doraemon underneath a fake Eiffel Tower. Hey look, Doraemon is trying his new gadget. Ah, neat. I challenged the electric gym leader and... What? You want me to take a quiz? Listen, young lady, I wouldn't be playing this game if I wanted to take quizzes. Jeez. This is why you don't let nerds become gym leaders. I know cause I'm one too. After acing my quiz, I challenged Doraemon. Ideally, this battle would have been disadvantageous for the flying type Charizard. But when Charizard Mega evolves into a badass blue fire thrower, it becomes a dragon type that resists electric, fire, water and grass type moves. Pretty cool, right? Emolga attacked with a Volt Switch and switched places with Magneton. Poor Magneton got attacked by Azula's Flame Burst, but he hung on with his ability Sturdy. Doraemon kept using Hyper Potions and tried to delay the inevitable, but eventually Magneton melted from Azula's Fire Blast and fainted. You know what's funny though? It's when a teeny tiny Pokemon smaller than the size of your own palm attacks with an Aerial Ace and it hits a crit. I took out the tiny powerhouse with a couple of Flame Bursts, but now Azula's HP was too low. Heliolisk outsped me and attacked with a Thunderbolt. Azula's Flame Burst wasn't enough to knock him out. I couldn't risk Azula's life any more than I already had. So I switched to Simba and attacked with Return. Heliolisk fainted and I won the Voltage badge. Out of curiosity, we visited the haunted house. But instead of seeing a ghost, we were forced to sit through the most boring horror story of this entire universe. It scared nobody. Except maybe the cameraman who filmed us. He kept shaking a lot. Are you alright, Mr. Cameraman? Then I challenged the beautiful alien, Valerie. Fairy type moves are resisted by fire type Pokemon. So this battle was a no-brainer. At least, that's what you would normally think. But yours truly forgot about Mobile's ability, Hypercutter. Hypercutter prevents any fallen attack. And I did not remember that. So like an idiot, I used Charm and it failed. My entire plan was in jeopardy now. I switched to Simba and managed to knock out Mobile with a flamethrower. I tried to do the same thing with Mr. Mime, but he hung on and used Light Screen. Valerie tried to stall by using Hyper Potions, which is good cause this gives me a chance to get rid of the Light Screen. Soon, Valerie ran out of potions and I knocked out Mr. Mime. I attacked Sylveon with Return, but Sylveon is pretty bulky. That did not do much. Luckily, Light Screen wore off. I attacked with flamethrowers and knocked out Sylveon. Not my best battle, but nobody died, and I won the Fairy Patch. What? You could join Team Flare with $5 million? Hey, Mr. CEO, join my team instead for only $4 million. It's a steal, come on. In the Lost Hotel, I encountered a Litwick. He had the ability Flame Body. That means fire type moves do nothing. And all my other moves were too powerful. So I had no other option but to catch him in a Master Ball. Wow, never thought I would use it like that. I named him Sabrina. The next part of the game is a bit annoying. Too many boring battles before the climax. After beating every single Team Flare basic grunt, I battled with the legendary fairy type Pokemon Xerneas. On my first attempt, I accidentally ended up killing it. Oops. He kept asking me for help, but I couldn't help him. You see, Xerneas, this is a Nuzlocke. So, you are dead. I can't help you anymore. Bye. While escaping, I ran into a Psycho Lysander and his mosquito cameras. I didn't know I would have to battle him immediately. I was supposed to begin with Phoenix, but I began with Moss instead. I switched to Phoenix, but Mienshao used Swords Dance during the switch. Oh no. Things could get dangerous here. So I ditched my plan of using Swords Dance and knocked out Mienshao with Acrobatics. I thought I could easily stack up Swords Dances now. But Pyro's Hyper Voice hit a crit. Oh no. I tried to regain my HP by using Roost, but Pyro's Hyper Voice was too powerful. So I knocked him out with Acrobatics. Phoenix's HP was too low now, but I couldn't switch him out. He was the only one who could beat Lysander's Mega Gyarados, so I used Roost to stay in the game. Honchkro's Night Slashes weren't dealing too much damage, so maybe I could regain all of my HP. But just when I regained my HP, Honchkro's Night Slash hit a crit. That's okay. I can just use Roost again and... What the heck? Honchkrow hit a crit again? How is that even possible? On the next turn, Night Slash hit a low ball. I could finally use Swords Dance. And after that, Honchkrow got burnt by Phoenix's ability Flame Body. That means his attack has been reduced by half. The luck is finally on my side now. I used my third and final Swords Dance and knocked out Honchkrow with Acrobatics. Lysander sent out his most terrifying Pokemon, Mega Gyarados. I attacked with Acrobatics and it hit a crit? I went through all that trouble for nothing? Ah, whatever. I won and now Crazy Lysander and his mosquito cameras are gone for good. Now I can get back to the important things in life, and that is solving intergalaxy puzzles created for all age groups. After solving a pretty long puzzle, I challenged Olympia, the psychic type gym leader. I began with Fire Flare's charm and managed to bring down Sigilev's attack to a -6. Then I cleanly switched to Wolverine and began stacking up howls. Sigilev wasted 2 of his turns by using Light Screen and Reflect. But after that, she began to attack with Air Slash. Wolverine's defense is terrible. 2 air slashes at -6 attack and his HP was already in the yellow. I couldn't wait for Reflect to wear off. So I attacked with Beat Up and to my surprise, I easily knocked out Sigilev. Slowking also easily went down to Beat Up. By the time Miastic came into the battlefield, Reflex effect had wore off. One more Beat Up and Miastic also fainted. Psychic badge in the bag. My friends ambushed me on a wonky bridge and forced me to participate in 3 back-to-back brutal battles. The first 2 were easy. My over-level Phoenix knocked the wind out of Shauna and Tierno's team. But Trevor's team was tricky. His lead Pokemon was Raichu, and Aerodactyl is terrifying even when it is underleveled. I began the battle with Substitute. Raichu's Nuzzle failed to paralyze me and I could stack up 1 Swords Dance. Raichu's second Nuzzle faded the Substitute. So I used 1 more Substitute and stacked up 1 more Swords Dance. Then I swept Trevor's entire team with acrobatics and won the battle. In the end, my friends told me that they just wanted to get to know me better. Well, in that case, why can't you just challenge me to a game of Ludo like a normal person? Why are you risking the lives of my Pokemon in a Nuzlocke? Jeez, my friends are stupid, but I love them. I tried to put the bridge behind me and challenge the Ice-type gym. Opama Snow has an awesome ability, Snow Warning, that brings hail into the battlefield. But I hate cold weather, so I quickly used Sunny Day. Then I wiped out Wulfric's entire team with flamethrowers. 8th gym badge in the bag. Before heading to the Victory Road, I acquired the Dusk Stone and evolved Sabrina into Chandelure. Did I need him on the team? Not really, but I had used a Master Ball to catch him, so he better be useful now. There were many tough battles on the Victory Road, but this one battle with veteran Katrina really bamboozled me in the worst possible way. Katrina has a Glaceon and Snorlax on her team, so I thought it would be perfect to use the Ghost and Fire type Sabrina for this battle. Sabrina would knock out Glaceon with a couple of Flame Burst. Easy. Then he would confuse Snorlax and knock him out with some more Flame Burst. But Katrina's Snorlax could use Earthquake. What the heck? Thankfully, Sabrina did not die. I switched to Phoenix and knocked out a confused Snorlax with a couple of acrobatics. Phew, that was a close one. Now I can challenge the Elite Four. I first challenged Malva, the Fire-type specialist. I had to set the record straight and let everyone know who's the better Fire-type trainer here. I Mega Evolved Azula and used Swords Dance. Pyro used Noble Roll and tried to decrease my attack and special attack, but that didn't matter. After 3 Sword Dances and 2 Noble Rolls, Azula was at +4 attack, perfect for a sweep. I attacked with Earthquakes and knocked out Pyro and Torkoal. Talonflame outsped me and attacked with Brave Bird. That got my HP in the yellow, and it wasn't even a crit. Whoa, Talonflame is too good. I fought back with a Dragon Claw and knocked her out. 1 more Earthquake and Chandelure joins his unconscious teammates. And I bagged my first victory in the Pokemon League. Bow down to the Fire Nation's future king, Malva. For my second battle, I challenged the Steel-type specialist Wigstrom. His team was weak to my Fire-type team, but he had one trump card, the Rock and Steel-type Probopass with the ability Sturdy. If I don't go in with a good plan, I might lose a Pokemon here. I chose Moss and immediately set up a light screen. Klefki used Torment on the next turn, but Moss was holding a mental herb, so its effect wore off. Then I used Calm Mind and increased my special attack and special defense. 3 Calm Minds later, I tried to finish off Klefki with a Flamethrower. But before I could do that, Klefki used Torment. Oh no. This means I couldn't use the same move twice in a row. Terrible when your plan is a Flamethrower sweep. Since I couldn't use Flamethrower on this turn, I attacked with Psychic. It wasn't very effective, but that's okay. Probopass anyways has 30. On the next turn, I attacked with a Flamethrower and knocked out Probopass. But I shouldn't have done that. Wulfric's next Pokemon was Scizor. Psychic couldn't knock him out, and a super effective Night Slash knocked the wind out of my poor Moss. Luckily, Moss survived and I could knock out Scizor with a Flamethrower on my next turn. I did not want to risk Moss's life anymore. So I switched to Simba, which was a genius move cause Aegislash used Shadow Claw that doesn't affect Simba. Hahaha. I attacked with a Flamethrower and knocked out Aegislash. And that marks my second victory in the Pokemon League. Then I challenged my biggest arch-nemesis, the Water Prince Seabolt. This was the most difficult battle of the entire challenge. Seabolt has the Water-type Cloyster who has insane special attack. If this isn't terrifying enough, Cloyster also has the ability Mega Launcher that increases all his pulse moves by 50%. Seabolt also has a scary Gyarados, a super fast and super bulky Starmie, and a rock and water type Barbaracle. I wouldn't want to battle this team in any damn challenge. I chose Moss and immediately set up a light screen. But in spite of that, Cloyster's Water Pulse hit pretty hard. Then I used Confined, told Cloyster my most embarrassing secret, and successfully brought down his special attack by 1 stage. 2 Confides later, I switched to Simba. My plan was to use Noble Roar and lower Cloyster's special attack even more. After 2 Noble Roars, Simba's HP was in the red. But I needed a clean switch to make my plan work. So I let Simba strain the game and used 1 more Noble Roar. Cloyster attacked with 1 more Water Pulse and that was the end of the jungle's queen, Simba. Sorry Simba, your beautiful mane shall always be remembered as a symbol of my team's strength. Azula, it's time for revenge. I Mega Evolved Azula and used Swords Dance. On the next turn, Cloyster attacked with a super effective Dragon Pulse, but thanks to the brave acts of Simba and Moss, it dealt a lot lesser damage than usual. I attacked with Dragon Claw and finally ended the menace of Cloyster. 3 more Dragon Claws and Gyarados, Barbaracle and Starmie were knocked out. The Water Prince was down. Fire Prince Zuko prevails. The next battle was with the Dragon-type specialist Dressna. She looks like that witch from Hansel and Gretel, friendly from the outside but scary and evil from the inside. For this battle, I thought it would be better if I did not Mega Evolve Charizard. All of Dressna's Pokemon use Dragon Pulse, and Noivern is just too fast. I gave leftovers to Moss and immediately used Sunny Day to protect myself from Dragalge's Surf. Then I used Light Screen. After that, I used Confide, told Dragalge about my most embarrassing secrets and lowered his special attack. 4 Confides later, I switched to Azula and used Swords Dance. Dragalge used Thunderbolt, but that did nothing. Since Dragalge has the ability Poison Point, I attacked with Earthquake instead of Dragon Claw and avoided physical contact. After that, I swept Dressna's entire team with Dragon Claw. First victim was Altaria. 1 Dragon Claw and Altaria fainted. Noivern outsped Azula and attacked with Dragon Pulse. It hit a crit, but Azula survived it and fought back with a Dragon Claw. If Azula was in a Mega Evolution form, she wouldn't have survived this critical hit. So my strategy to not Mega Evolve Azula actually paid off. I attacked with 1 more Dragon Claw and knocked out Dressna's last Pokemon, Druddigon. That's my 4th victory in the Elite Four. Time to challenge the champion who also happens to be the most perfect human being on Earth. Diantha, if I beat you in a Pokemon battle, do you promise to trade your life with me? The final battle was surprisingly the easiest battle of all. I chose Fire Flare and used Will-O-Wisp to burn Hawlucha and half his attack. Then I attacked with Charm and further reduced Hawlucha's attack by 2 stages. Hawlucha tried to restore his attack stats by using Sword Stance, but I was persistent. I kept attacking with Charm. After exchanging way too many Sword Stances and Charms, I finally managed to reduce Hawlucha's attack to a -6. Then I switched to Azula. At -6 attack, Hawlucha was just a floating mask in a gentle autumn breeze. As Hawlucha healed himself with full restore, I Mega Evolved Azula and used Sword Stance. Then I attacked with Dragon Claw and OHKO'd Hawlucha. Scary dinosaur that has a golden crown as a skull? You've been Dragon Clawed. Cute child of a unicorn and a dragon? You've been Dragon Clawed. I don't have a witty name for you, so can you just dramatically get knocked out by an earthquake? Yes, just like that. Karen Kardashian? You've been Shadow Clawed. A grass-type Pokemon trying too hard to be a psychic and fairy type? You've been Shadow Clawed. I defeated the champion, and now Diantha's life is mine. Ha 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 ha. This challenge was a lot of fun. I loved playing Pokemon X with Mega Charizard. Delphox and Talonflame are so amazing. And who knew Flareon's charm would be the MVP of this entire challenge? Do try this challenge, you will surely enjoy it. For the next video, I'm gonna pick a challenge from one of your comments. So let them ideas rolling. Oh, and I also have a Twitter now. So follow me there for YouTube updates and Pokemon memes. If you made it till here, then please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Help me out with the algorithm who's being all hot and cold towards me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Until then, keep Pokemoning.